Elementary, we would like to recognize fifth grader Alisa Cantu. Alisa is a well-rounded young lady who has a passion for learning and helping others. She is a GT student, maintains a place on the A honor roll, and demonstrates leadership by serving as a patrol on her campus. Through demonstrating her love of science, Alisa has been selected to attend a science conference at the University of Texas in 2017. Alisa is a wonderful citizen, often acting as a tutor and peer mentor. Alisa enjoys reading and math and plans to seek a career in teaching or veterinary medicine. Scobie Middle School would like to recognize Brian Pinedo. Brian has always been known to be a very bright, inquisitive, and friendly student. Brian has been in Cyber Patriots class 2 years in which he has excelled. His love for technology has enabled him to grasp difficult concepts quickly. He's willing to help other students that are struggling in class by helping them solve problems on their computers. Brian is consistently an A/B student, and he reports that his efforts are starting to have an influence on his younger brother's grades. Even with all this success, Brian remains a humble and hardworking young man. Southwest High School would like to recognize Aaron Romo. Aaron was selected because of his success with the Texas Association of Future Educators competition this past year. Aaron placed second at regionals, third at state, and fifth at nationals. He was selected to participate in the national cabinet, one of 4 students selected nationally, and is currently serving as Secretary of Innovation and National Cabinet Member of Educators Rising. During summer 2016, Aaron traveled to Washington, D.C. to train for his cabinet position. Aaron has been accepted to Texas State and is currently waiting on acceptance letters from Baylor and the University of North Texas before making a decision. We have one more, and I'm going to bring up Rafael Barajas to talk about that.
Yes, good afternoon.
Special recognition.
Yes.
Rafael knows it's Christmas season.
Yes. We've been good. So, as you all may know, this is the 3rd year that Southwest ISD participates on the energy demand response, partnering with CPS. What this entails is through the months of June and September, on any 100+ degree days, we participate and partner out with CPS to lower down our AC consumption. This year, we participated in 18 events, which earned the district $187,466. Awesome. With this, I would also like to mention and congratulate Michelle Hernandez and Fred Martinez of our Facilities and Maintenance Department, who really spearhead this effort and making sure that every campus participates. And here to present the commemorative check, we have a CPS representative, Mr. John Barrow. Should be.
This is the 3rd year, Rafael?
3rd year.
I don't know if you guys remember the first year subtotal, I believe, was 60.
It was 93. So in 3 years, we've done about $417,000. Wow.
That's awesome. We'll take it.
was asked this question a while ago by a gentleman down here. Is that divided by 7 or 8?
8.
Thank you very much. All right, that's probably the only exciting thing that's going to happen tonight. We've covered all that. We can give you a few minutes to leave. If you want to stay for the boring part, we'll be glad to have you. We'll give you about a minute or two.
Heard so much about you.
Oh, that's
Finally
so
glad that I finally
sweet.
get to meet you.
Thank you. That's so sweet. That just made my day. You can come back to all
He's like, Ben, I found out you're the Debbie Downer.
I was going to ask if we could take a picture.
Yes. Where'd it go? Oh, I don't know. Sure. Oh yeah.
I told
What's up, Brad? How's it going, sir?
there's a comment. We're not going
I gotta come visit you, sir. I haven't been able to get out there, man. Looks a little different. Yeah, does it? Can we go in the press box yet?
Oh, yeah.
Press box.
Yep, you can walk up the bleachers and get in the press box.
I want to do that.
Me too.
Firing up our stadium lights.
Let's go over there tomorrow, like at lunchtime.
I'm going to try to let them shine overnight.
Yeah.
I got to burn them in.
Burn them in.
Let's go have a fire over there.
Yeah, at nighttime.
Let's have a bonfire.
Are you gonna load stuff in? Are you gonna put something on here? Or no?
It's already loaded. It's already loaded.
Oh, okay, yeah. We haven't even started really the board meeting. What'd you get there? You stuck to it or what? Alright. You alright, sir? You good? Hanging in there. Huh? Shit. I'm surviving. Huh?
You want to go up?
Oh, thanks.
We don't want to take over the board meeting, but we're gonna
Take it.
Go ahead.
How awesome is that?
Fantastic. This young lady one day, she's gonna rule the world right there.
All right. Most women do. Men just don't know it. It's not in that.
Like to hear.
Excuse me, not exactly.
Not in America. I was gonna say.
I think if it would have been a different way. I think it would have been a different way.
Maybe.
I bet you Michelle Obama
I think so. That's next.
right now I'm on the thing.
All right, board members, we're going to move on, and we're going to have another change in the agenda. If you'll go to item 10, curriculum and instruction, and the first thing is consider approval of target improvement plan. That was given to you early. Do we have any questions on that?
No.
I need a motion.
I move that we approve that.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you, Jesse.
So we also have Jesse that's going to be presenting the campus performance objectives tonight.
Well, hi, Jesse.
How you doing, sir? You doing all right? The campus performance objectives are in your packet that you received from Mona. Essentially, they are the goals that we ask the campuses to set out each year for the work that they're going to be doing on their campuses. And we give them some parameters around it. We ask that they do a goal for attendance. We ask that they do some content goals for testing. If they have some subgroups that are having some struggles, we ask that they identify those subgroups as well. And in the case of like Indian Creek, we ask that they have their targeted improvement goals as part of their plan as well too. And so those are the goals that you have before you for every campus in the district. We're asking that you approve those as per Texas code, which asks for us to get approval from the board for those goals. And then we're going to post those on the website for the community to see.
Questions?
Can I have this one?
Motion again.
The whole thing?
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you.
So So next on the agenda is for the board to approve the 2016-17 guidelines for the Southwest ISD Scholarship Fund. And in your packet, you have the URL that's to the link of the website, so there is no more brochure that we will hand you during these meetings. It is all housed on the new website that Lori Vanderwall created. And so this year, there are no proposed changes to the guidelines. It is standard. It has to be a graduating senior that has been with us all year. They must maintain a 2.5 to 4.0 GPA, 95% attendance, and that they must be a resident, or if they are a transfer because of a district employee, they must have attended Southwest High School for all 4 years of high school. And so the only change that we did make this year is that we're going to open the scholarship a little earlier. Normally, we open that scholarship for kids to apply for after the holiday break, winter break. And this year, we're opening it up on December 12th, which is prior, and it'll extend all the way through January 20th. So kids will have the entire Christmas vacation to do that. This year, we've allotted $112,865, of which $1,500 will be used for the tax title and license of the Toyota car giveaway for the student. And then we will also use $3,000 to provide incentives and scholarship opportunities for kids that complete their FAFSA. And so tonight we're asking that the board approves the Southwest ISD scholarship guidelines for 16-17.
Just want to make one quick comment. It's a wonderful program, and it's so helpful to the kids that we want to get the help. But they are also terribly busy as seniors, and I just want to say, as you know, do everything you can to make sure they know that they have to apply. As I hear so often, well, I found out about it after the application.
Right.
And I don't know what you do about that. I just do point out they're very busy, and do whatever you can to make sure that they know.
Thank you very much for that input.
What was the $3,000 for?
We do, the past 2 years, we've done selfie scholarships for students that are completing their FAFSA applications for financial aid. And so their names get put into a hat, and there's a drawing for that. And so last year we did, I think 2 years in a row, we've done $1,500 scholarships, and I think this year we're going to try to break that up to maybe 6 $500 scholarships so that we access more kids. So yes. Okay.
Thank you. Questions? Need a motion?
I move.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Moving down to D, stipends.
So we are asking to actually amend the current district stipends for 16-17. We're adding 3 stipends. We received a grant from the Spurs Team Up Challenge grant funds. Lori Vanderwall and the Anti-Harassment, Anti-Bullying Committee wrote a grant and received $10,157, of which we requested to have sponsors on campuses that would receive funds to promote the program. And so that particular stipend is $1,000. Then we added a TTM stipend for support of the 9th grade campus of $2,500. And then this year, for the first time, we're adding some career and technical education stipends of $2,000, and those are listed on the back. We have not had these in the past, and we're really needing to increase the capacity of our CTE program with these programs. BPA is one of them, Distributive Education Clubs of America, DECA, Future Business Leaders at FBLA, FCCLA, and these are all in your packet on page 108. And so tonight we're asking that the board approve the additional stipends to the 2016-17 stipend list.
Again, do we have any questions? Any comments? Need a motion?
I so move.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. All right, board members, now we're going to go back up to the top to item 5, citizens to be heard. Did we have nobody signed up?
Yeah, be careful.
All right, from there we go to item 6, items of information, the construction.
Good afternoon again, and here to present the construction update for Southwest Legacy. We have Rafael Bedoya with Fluger and Brad James with Joris.
Okay.
We are almost done. It might not look like it, but we're close.
Thanks.
We're flying around the Cape buildings, starting off with. Got all of our paving in, all of our fencing in, site lighting's in.
Wow.
Trying to get grass to grow at this point, get everything cleaned up. We are doing our punch list walk throughout the building. I think we're probably around 75% complete with that. We're heading towards the kitchen, I think this end of this week, to do some punch list walks over there. All of our systems are up and running, MEP-wise. We have controlled air, except for a couple rooms here and there. But we do have our van tower in that Raphael just pointed out. And our play fields are in. We should have our ball fields complete probably by the end of December. Scoreboards are in. Tomorrow will be a big day. We're going to light up our stadium lights for the first time. So that'll be nice. Our bleachers are in. And visitor bleachers are in, and home side bleachers are in as well. And that little corner is our last little spot that we're going to have to finish. We've retreated back to that spot, so that's a good thing. Our track surface should go in the first, actually next Monday, the Monday after the holiday. And then we'll be paving that, the last parking lot, next week. So we're pretty well wrapping up with the site. It's just a matter of getting everything cleaned up and a few things fixed. This is our courtyard area where we are essentially complete. We have a little power washing to do and install some light bulbs and that sort of thing. We're getting close.
As Brad pointed out, through the last pay application, on the high school, we're at 97%. So we are doing substantial completion walks already. We've already done A through E, and then we jumped to J and K, which is the athletics. And this past week, starting Monday, we did H, which is the cafeteria, and the kitchen. And on Thursday, we'll go back and do another pass through the kitchen, and then we'll jump into F, which is the auditorium and all the fine arts areas.
Let me ask a question. Something that I really hadn't paid enough attention to, but for the band boosters, particularly the snack bar area, it's broken into two. Isn't that correct? One for the visitors and one for home.
That's it right there, actually. I think that's the only label.
Well, this is the snack bar inside the courtyard.
He's talking about the stadium.
Oh, and the
Concession
stadium,
stand.
the concession area.
That's far more important.
Concession stand, we have one main concession area.
And it's broken into two, or?
It's one. That was initially, through the project, there were two separate ones, and a home and away, and that got value engineered out for cost
Into one.
purposes.
Yeah, I realized that, we made them one, but I was wondering if that one is then split in two, where people go to both of them, and how do you, well, I guess that'd be okay. And how many people will it hold?
The stadium?
No, the concession stand.
Concession stand?
Inside the concession stand.
What do you think? The occupancy.
Have you talked to anybody about that configuration?
We'd have to get that for you,
Yeah, I
sir.
would say about 8 to 10
It's
people.
it's not so important as, it is important now, as we get close to it, because the different booster clubs are gonna have to figure out how they're gonna do that. And I just, and I know how important that is to those people.
Dr. Barham's always in charge of the
Yeah,
nachos. He wants to make
yes.
sure
But
there's
the
room to
nacho
make those
person-
nachos.
The nacho
he was
person
on
has
hot
enough
dogs this
room.
year. You didn't have a little place over on the hot dogs this year? No.
See, there's a picture of it, sir.
Last year, those sausage wraps.
Sausage wraps. Gotta have room for sausage wrap guy.
We're gonna go back just so you can see the.
Maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
There you go.
That's the front of the concession area.
There it is.
Oh, wow, that's great.
So there's railings, which dedicate kind of aisles and pairs, so there's gonna be an actual physical division, so people don't.
Does he have a little corner office there, or?
we'll see what's in there. Maybe we can allocate something.
Right by the fryer.
Custodial room, there's,
Is it in the center? I mean, is it on the home side, on the visitor side?
It's in the
or
middle.
it's in the middle.
It's the middle of all the ball fields.
On
So
the
you-
north side of the stadium.
Oh, I see.
Or I guess on the,
It's between the baseball fields and the football field.
Okay.
So everybody in the tennis courts are here. So it's,
Anywhere.
everybody has access to the restrooms and the concession stand right there.
So that's where they'll congregate for most of the game.
Correct.
Okay, good. Thank you, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a better question than you think when you get right down to it.
Well, look at that.
And also, just so you all know, Joris has also started scheduling trainings for equipment, kitchen. We're talking to different departments within our district in order to get those moving and scheduled. I think right now we have lined up kitchen, culinary arts, and theater
equipment.
equipment.
Now, that particular picture, that wood is not, is it finished or not finished?
It's
Not
finished, but it's a clear finish, a clear lacquer finish.
Right.
We're scheduling another trip for the board to go and have that conversation today. So I know that Mr. Blatt took groups of students. I don't know how many students total you took last week?
We took about 220 of our 10th graders this year.
To walk them through Legacy and look at it and see it and ball it back, give them an idea. We also have our Student Advisory Council that we meet tomorrow. We're actually meeting there at Legacy, where they'll have lunch there and we'll walk that group through it. So we're really kind of soft introducing the site to our students and getting them excited about it. We are making plans to potentially have our next brown bag there, or I know we have a lot of items in that brown bag. We might see if y'all can schedule another day that we can eat there for lunch and then do a pretty comprehensive tour, like a tour of the facility. I've been through a tour of Toyota Raphael. He knows the building extremely well, all three of you, I'm sure. But it's really nice to go through there and see aspects of the building, what's similar and what's different, because there are some similarities to our existing facility, but there are some different aspects to it as well that are good. It's a great building.
Beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
thank you.
Do you have anything else on construction?
Just a quick update on the technology building renovation, addition and renovation. The contractor has already jumped on board and they're removing the existing canopy. By the end of the week, all of the asphalt within the scope will be removed, and they're working through Thanksgiving break and are really moving along, so.
Where's that?
The technology building, addition and renovation.
Yeah.
Anything else on construction? All right, thank you, sir. Now we have to move back. This time it's my fault. I forgot it. It's the consent agenda. Board members, you've had it in front of you for 3 or 4 days. Do you have questions, comments, or anything on the consent agenda?
No, sir.
If not, I need a motion.
I move.
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Now we get back on the regular agenda here, and we have the monthly tax office report.
Yes, sir. We're down 0.9% from last year, sir. We were doing good for a while there, sir, and we started new, so I'm a little behind, but we'll catch back up next month.
After Christmas.
Yeah, after Christmas, we'll catch back up, sir.
Any comments? All right, on the financial investment, gifts, enrollment report, any questions on any of that?
No, sir.
Review of purchases over 50,000. There wasn't a lot of them. Do you have any questions on those? All right, the December calendar of events. Santa coming? All right, the next thing we've already covered is the Blue Santa, and we go down to wellness policy.
Yes, sir. Tonight I have Winston Gatlin, who's going to present an update to the wellness policy and go over those procedures with the board. And he looks very nice today. Just wanted to point that out.
He does, Vincent. You look like it.
Yeah.
Good evening, how y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
We have to update the wellness policy, FFA local. The Healthy Hungry Kids Act of 2010 requires us to update it. The United States Department of Agriculture, Foods and Nutrition Service adopted the final regulation on August 29, 2016. The district must meet the local wellness policy requirements by June 30th, 2017, this summer. And in order for the district to meet this requirement, we had Katie Mahoney, Assistant Director of Child Nutrition. She presented to the SHAC committee. And I also want to recognize Valerie Maldonado. She's a coordinator of the SHAC, and she helped us do the presentation. And we presented to the SHAC all the policy, and they reviewed it. We went over the contents of the policy, and they approved, the SHAC approved the policy that you have in front of you today. It contains mainly the same goals and objectives that the first one that we approved in 2006. We never have updated it. It's basically the same. The main changes are the local policy now. You have to have a local wellness plan to go over all the regulations to back up the policy, which is very new. And most of the requirements of the plan we'll have to address is plans for soliciting involvement for stakeholders, which if we can get help from principals or anybody, we do not have a lot of parents that come to this meeting, and we do need parent involvement. Also, the nutrition standards and guidelines for foods and beverages sold. Also, foods and beverages that are provided to students at no cost. And also, food items marketed to students during the school day. They're actually having some policies on marketing that kids see, that they can't have Coca-Cola marketing or Pepsi marketing on around the school district. And then we also has to include plans for measuring the implementation of the goals in the wellness policy, and plans for communicating information and updates about the wellness policy to the public. One of the main changes is that we also have to evaluate this plan every 3 years. And also another major change is we have to actually, once a year, we have to let the community know of any updates, any changes to the content, any implementation, and also the assessment of the wellness policy on a yearly basis. And also every 3 years when we have our audit through TDA, they also are going to assess our wellness policy and the wellness plan. Also, once it's heard again and we do approve this policy, the SHAC is going to have to get together again and do the wellness plan to back up the policy. That's it.
Comments?
Any questions?
Thanks, Winston.
So we'll be bringing this back next month for approval.
All right,
Or
item
next
7
meeting.
will postpone to after executive session. And we move down to business and financing and the resolution on fund balance.
Correct, sir. Before the board adopts the district audit, the board has to adopt the district fund balance resolution. And it's a legal requirement, and it's based into 4 categories. You have the and I put on your desk there a copy of kind of our fund balance sheet that the board's used to. It looks like this. And there's 4 sections here: non-spendable, restricted, committed, and unassigned. And the main focus, and I kind of go through these real briefly, starting with where it says all items. Investments in inventory, the $614,931. Those are available for use and those are our warehouses, like print shop, media, and the warehouse we have off of Pearsall Road here. And then you get into the restricted funds, our debt service. We have about $8.5 million Most of that money is set aside for a QZAB that we had that will end next May. And so we accumulate that money to make that final payment on that. And then the rest of that, there's about 1.7 left set aside for our debt payment that we have from our bond funds. And then kind of the biggest change that you will see in our fund balance will be the capital acquisition. This time last year, the capital acquisition was about 51 million, but that was bond funds that we had available this time last year for the projects like Resnick and some of the renovation projects that we had. And you can see that we spent most of that money, and then we actually did the last 20 million of the bonds, and so we're right at about 26 million that's left in those bond funds. And then you have your scholarship fund, which we just presented tonight. There's about 1.125 million in that, 1.1 million. And then the state programs is child nutrition fund balance, and that's 1.5. Now, the board is most importantly to look at is the committed and unassigned. The committed is future construction needs. 18.309 is, this is similar to what we had last year, and what we spent. Basically, and what I've done is just kind of kept it the same as what we had last year. And then the infrastructure needs 8.9. And then the unassigned is around 30 million. So if looking at last year, overall, if you take those three where it says committed and unassigned, this time last year we were at 60 million. And so you notice that we're down to 57, but we had a lot of projects. We had the press box. We had some instruments that we purchased in the summer of 200,000, and then we had a bunch of rollover funds that the board had put in for some of the projects. And so it's like a 2.9 million hit to fund balance, but last year we were anticipating being at a lot lower, almost at 51, 52. And so that's kind of where we are now. I also put on here some of the stuff that's going on for this fiscal year. You have the Legacy High School, 7 million. We had some rollover items in budget from projects from last year, and that was about 1.1. So that's about 8.1 right now that we have in the budget from fund balance. So if we spent all those funds this year, plus the overall budget, we would be at about 49 million at the end of next year. For future major projects, knowing that we did the tax ratification election, part of that was when we strategized and moved our tax rate. We are going to have to probably, from fund balance, spend about 600,000 to make our debt payment, but we anticipated that, and we're going to hopefully make that up with the funds that we're getting in the M&O side. And then I'll put $1 million on there for unforeseen. We're opening a brand new high school. We have $7 million, but we're investigating, looking at new things. We're doing things that may be different from the past, and so we may have to ask the board later on if we want to do some certain things for that project and getting that school up and started. So overall, we're at 57 million to date. 3 months reserve is approximately 28,767,000. And so that's kind of the fund balance for you. So I don't know if you have any questions on that.
Anybody, questions?
I move we approve the resolution of fund balance allocations as presented. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Item B is the district financial audit that we just had. Did anybody have questions on that? If there are none, we need a motion.
I move we approve the audit as presented.
I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Item C, appointment of reviewer and hearing examiner for the school bus safety.
Yes, and I'm going to bring up Mr. Dave Bozio. And this is, so the board knows, and he'll probably update you, is that we have all our cameras installed on the buses, and this is in regards to the, when the lights come on and giving tickets for people who are passing our buses. And so there's some other steps that we have to take to make sure that the whole plan is implemented. And so Mr. Bozio is going to talk to you about that.
Wasn't from us, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Probably be tried in criminal court for that. Sir, this is to let you know that we have, as Mr. Crisp said, all our cameras are on board. They were finished in September. The final step that they need to take is bringing all the districts together. But however, the first thing they need to do is make sure that we have a hearing officer and a reviewing officer at the city level. So all the TechServe, who's fostered this program, has appointed these people, has nominated these people. It's up to us you as a school board to approve that appointments, and that's the purpose. This is the final step to having these tickets, as they will be produced, reviewed, and then basically adjudicated by a hearing officer. The two-step process, they have people, the reviewer will check the film to make sure has been an offense that has taken place, because there are sometimes miscues, sometimes the stop arm is just going out when the vehicle runs it. And then it is passed on to the hearing officer to adjudicate it. And this is where the person is brought into, brought in to see this hearing officer, or can mail in his ticket. And this is going to be conducted for 5 districts in the city. Your task is to consider the approval of these 2 people to that appointment. Of note is that there will be a coming out ceremony, if you will. There will be a presentation in December, bringing the 5 districts together, a public announcement, and we're going to send representation to this. We'll be joined by the city to announce this as a citywide project. The big thing that has held up the project is getting these people appointed, so that now once these people are appointed, they're anticipating starting this program in December. Whereas now you pass a bus, sir, one of our school buses, you will be cited. And the difference is that this is a civic, you'll get a civil citation, which is a $300 fine, versus if a police officer pulls you over, that's a $1,200 fine. It's a criminal offense. So subject to your approval, we'll be ready to go.
Well, James, I guess we'll miss you next board meeting.
That's all I have, sir.
Do we have any comments, questions? James, you might have a question. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Need a motion? Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. I think out of all the notes and changes and all that we finally covered all of it, but item 7, and we'll do that after executive session, but the superintendent always has one more thing.
Yes, sir, you did a really good job.
Oh, certainly, I need a raise.
We have a couple of more things. Grab it here. Tomorrow morning, is it tomorrow or Thursday? Tomorrow morning, Thursday morning at 9:15. If any of you can make it, we're having 2 of our student athletes signing on. Carissa Henry's going to sign on with a basketball scholarship with Bethel College in Kansas. And Juliana Serta is signing with St. Mary's University. We've seen for softball, we seem to be for softball pipeline. And that'll be the 4th Southwest High School student going there. And ask our board, if you can, to join us at 1 p.m. Alamo Stadium this Saturday, as our football team goes to the 2nd round of the playoffs versus Los Fresnos, the Falcons. And they are accepting the 29 and 268 passes. And in honor of our football team, we have an early Outfish Friday. Actually, there's an early Outfish Friday. So we'll get out a little out early.
They're accepting our passes.
Do you have anything else on your one more things?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to remember to.
No, we have some of our folks with them. Very happy Thanksgiving. Great next week. Please get some R&R. Folks out here.
Because somebody keeps running into my gate. And this is short.
Amen.
Sure.
Anything else, anybody? All right, under Texas Government Code 551.001-551.146, we go into executive session. All right, we come back into regular session, and it's 7:46. And we move to superintendent's recommendation on personnel, but before we vote on that, we need Keith to read the following.
I move that the board determine that good cause did not exist for Joshua Bella to submit his resignation on November 8, 2016, seeking immediate release from teaching duties. I further move that the board approve the superintendent to submit a written complaint against Joshua Bella to the Texas Education Agency Educator Certification and Standards, stating that the district has not accepted his resignation, that Joshua Bella has abandoned his contract through submitting his resignation on November 8, 2016, and stating that the board does not believe good cause exists for his mid-contract resolution.
All right, to make this official, I think we need to have two motions, and I need a motion on that to begin with.
I move.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carried. And now I need a motion on the superintendent's recommendation on all personnel.
I move we approve the superintendent's recommendation on all personnel.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. One more thing.
All of you are invited to a Thanksgiving luncheon.
Well, I had one today and
Next Thursday?
didn't get to come.
Next Thursday? When was it?
At your house?
For who?
Dr. Faye's division, she was inviting the board if you'd like to come and listen.
I don't either.
All right. What other nasty little things? James, anything else?
Football game Saturday, 1 o'clock.
Anybody else?
Okay, on the visitor side, right?
On the visitor side.
Oh, we're
Oh,
visitors?
visitor side?
They don't hold any parking passes or anything. Should have
Oh, what?
Pass what?
your UIL pass award at the gate. Oh, yeah. Your UIL pass award. Your UIL pass award. Talk to someone at SAISD.
Yeah, VIP parking pass.
I'm fine.
I'm not, I can't walk very far.
But it's with a different, it's not with SAISD, it's just at that location, right?
Are we discussing something?
Have you
that's
ever
not on the
walked in
agenda?
that
All
stadium?
right. Official things. What else? If not, we're adjourned at 7:50.